The first thing Armin noticed when he moved into the old rental house was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy kind that pressed against the ears like water. Even at noon, the house felt asleep, holding its breath. The walls were thick, stained with age, and the air smelled faintly of damp wood and something sour, like rust mixed with rot. The landlord had been strangely eager to rent it out. Too eager. He avoided eye contact, slid the keys across the table with trembling fingers, and said only one thing before Armin left. "If you hear knocking, don't answer." Armin laughed then. He thought it was a joke. Everyone had ghost stories about old houses. He needed a cheap place, and this one was almost free. That was his first mistake. The first night passed quietly. Too quietly. No dogs barking outside. No distant traffic. No insects. It felt like the world ended at the walls of the house. Armin lay awake, staring at the ceiling, counting his breaths. Just as sleep began to pull him under, a sound echoed through the hallway. Knock. One slow, deliberate knock. Armin sat up. His heart thudded hard, but logic kicked in. Probably the pipes. Old houses made noise. Then came the second knock. This one was closer. From inside the house. Armin froze. He listened carefully. The sound hadn't come from the front door. It came from the wall beside his bedroom. Knock. Knock. The wall. His throat went dry. He pressed his ear to the paint. Nothing. Silence again. He told himself he was imagining it. Stress. New place. Darkness playing tricks. He slept eventually, though his dreams were thick and feverish. He dreamed of fingers pressing through walls like wet paper, leaving bulges that followed him wherever he ran. He woke up screaming. Morning light didn't make the house feel safer. It only revealed details he hadn't noticed before. Scratch marks around door frames. Deep ones, like someone had dragged nails again and again. The mirrors had faint stains, shaped almost like handprints, but smeared, as if someone had tried to wipe them away in panic. Armin convinced himself the house had history. That was all. The knocking returned the second night. This time, it came in a pattern. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks again. Always from a different place. The kitchen wall. The ceiling. Behind the bathroom mirror. Armin began sleeping with the lights on. He stopped using the mirrors entirely, covering them with sheets. When he called the landlord, the phone rang endlessly. By the 4th night, the knocking had changed. It wasn't just knocking anymore. It was scratching. Long, slow drags, like something was trying to dig its way out. Armin pressed his hands over his ears, rocking back and forth on the bed. His breath came in sharp bursts. Suddenly, the scratching stopped. Then a whisper seeped through the wall. Armin. His blood turned to ice. No one knew his name here. He stood up, shaking, and backed away from the wall. The whisper repeated, closer this time, almost affectionate. Open. No, he whispered, tears filling his eyes. Leave me alone. The wall bulged outward, just slightly, as if something on the other side was pressing its face against it. Armin ran from the room and locked himself in the bathroom. He slid down against the door, hugging his knees, sobbing quietly. The bathroom mirror was covered, but he could feel it watching him. Knock. The sound came from inside the mirror. He screamed and tore the sheet away. His reflection stared back, but something was wrong. The reflection smiled when he wasn't smiling. Its eyes were sunken, black veins crawling across the whites. The reflection raised its hand and knocked. From inside the glass. Crack. A thin fracture spread across the mirror. Armin smashed it with his fist, shards exploding across the floor. Blood poured from his hand, but he didn't feel it. He ran from the house barefoot, not stopping until he collapsed in the street. The police found nothing when they checked the house the next day. No signs of damage. No broken mirror. No scratches. They suggested exhaustion. Hallucinations. Armin didn't argue. He didn't go back. Weeks passed. He moved into a new apartment, clean and modern. He tried to forget, tried to sleep. The knocking followed him, soft at first, from the inside of his closet, from beneath the floor, always at night, always 3 times. He stopped answering his phone, stopped leaving the apartment. His body grew thin, his eyes hollow. One night, as he lay curled on his bed, the knocking came from inside his chest. Knock, knock, knock. Pain exploded through him. He gasped, clawing at his shirt, feeling something move beneath his ribs. A pressure, pushing outward. A whisper rose from his own throat, in a voice that wasn't his. Open. His skin stretched, cracked. Fingers pushed through from the inside, slick with blood. His mouth opened in a silent scream as something peeled itself out of him, wearing his face like a mask. The next morning, neighbors reported hearing knocking from inside the walls. When police arrived, they found the apartment empty, perfectly clean, except for faint handprints on the walls. Knocking from the inside, waiting for the next door to open. When the town of Gray Hollow was erased from the map, no one noticed. Roads were rerouted. Signs were removed. Even GPS showed nothing but a blur of green where the town once existed. It was as if the place had never been real. But the dead still lived there. Elias discovered Gray Hollow by accident. His car broke down in the middle of the forest at dusk, the sky bruised purple and red like infected flesh. His phone had no signal. The air smelled wrong, sweet and rotten at the same time. He walked until his legs burned. That was when he saw the town. The buildings leaned inward, crooked and swollen, as if the earth itself was trying to swallow them. Windows were dark, yet Elias felt watched from every direction. A rusted sign stood at the edge of the road. Welcome to Gray Hollow. Population 312. The number was scratched again and again, like someone couldn't decide whether to erase it or carve it deeper. Elias stepped inside. The silence was unbearable. No wind, no birds. Even his footsteps sounded muffled, as if the ground was soft beneath him. The street lamps flickered, casting long, twisted shadows that moved even when he didn't. A door creaked open somewhere. Hello, Elias called. His voice sounded wrong here. Thinner, weak. A woman stood at the end of the street. Her back faced him. She wore a pale dress stained dark at the hem. Her hair hung in wet clumps. Excuse me, Elias said, walking toward her. My car. She turned. Her face had no eyes, just smooth skin stretched tight over bone. Her mouth opened impossibly wide. Stay, she whispered. Elias ran. Every house looked the same. Doors slightly open. Curtains breathing. He slammed into one house and fell through the doorway. Inside, the air was warm and wet. The walls were covered in old photographs. Families smiling. Children playing. Every face in every photo had been scratched out. Elias backed away, heart hammering. Footsteps came from upstairs. Slow, wet, dragging. He hid in a closet, pressing his hands over his mouth. The footsteps stopped outside the door. Something sniffed. A voice spoke, deep and layered, like many mouths speaking together. He's new. The closet door opened. Hands grabbed Elias and pulled him into darkness. When he woke, he was tied to a chair in a room lit by candles made of something that looked too soft to be wax. People surrounded him. Men, women, children, all smiling. None of them blinked. A man stepped forward. His skin sagged, stitched in places like it had been borrowed. We keep the town alive, the man said. It feeds on people. Without new blood, Gray Hollow rots. Elias screamed as they cut him. Not deep, just enough to bleed. They collected it in bowls and poured it into the floorboards. The wood drank greedily. The town breathed. Days passed, or nights. Tom didn't work here. Elias watched others like him dragged in. Travelers. Lost souls. No one left. At night, the town whispered. Walls pulsed. Streets shifted. Houses screamed softly, like animals dreaming. Elias tried to kill himself. The town didn't let him. Each time he hurt himself, his wounds closed. The town healed him so it could keep feeding. One night, he saw what lived beneath Gray Hollow. The ground split open, revealing flesh instead of earth. A massive heart beat beneath the town, wrapped in veins that led into every building. And faces, thousands of faces stretched across it, mouths open in silent agony. "They are us," the stitched man said, "and we will be you," Elias begged. They laughed. When Elias finally died, the town stitched him back together. He stood at the edge of the road weeks later, wearing someone else's skin, smiling without blinking. A car approached. Elias raised his hand and waved. "Welcome to Gray Hollow." The population sign scratched itself deeper. 313.